Thanks to its +1 approach to teaching and its emphasis on ear training, I think Syntorial is the best way to learn how to use a synthesizer. In this video, I'll explain why you'd even want to learn how to make your own sounds in a synth, and why Syntorial is the best way to do it. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Ryan, and here I talk about the craft of writing music. And these days, using a synthesizer is a big part of that. However, learning how to use a synthesizer can be difficult.
I tried so hard!
A modern synthesizer has so many parameters that it can be a bit overwhelming to a beginner. Especially if you're not a tech person, looking at a synth can feel a bit like looking at the cockpit of a 747 when you don't know the first thing about flying. So why should you even learn how to program your own sounds in a synth when there are plenty of good default patches out there?
It's good enough.
Well, I can think of 3 reasons. First of all, it gives you a sense of ownership over your sounds, so your music doesn't sound just like everyone else's out there. There have really been times where I was watching TV and I recognized the synth patch that the composer was using. Now, no, most of your audience is not going to recognize what patches you're using and if they heard that same one in some different show they watched last week. But creating your own sounds is an important step in starting to craft your signature voice. Number 2 is that if you have a specific sound in mind and you know how to use your synth, you can just go and create it instead of just endlessly scrolling through patches hoping you'll find one that's close to what you have in mind. This can be fun when you don't know what to write and you're just looking for inspiration, but when you actually know what you want and you can't find it, you can just spend your entire day going through patch lists.
What a waste of time.
Reason number 3 is that you can take existing patches and make them your own. So if you find a great patch you really like but you want to tweak it, you'll know exactly what you need to do. If you want less vibrato, if you need to change the mod wheel, whatever it is you might want to do, you'll have that much more control over your sound and your production. So I learned how to program synths back in college, and even though I understood conceptually how it all worked, in my day-to-day work I wasn't really doing it. I wasn't creating my own patches. It just felt like so much work to start from scratch to end up where I wanted, and I didn't really know how to fill in those gaps. So when I discovered Syntorial, I was instantly hooked. So, 3 reasons that I really like Syntorial. First is this +1 approach to learning. So if you've ever learned a foreign language, you probably know that the best way to learn new information is when it's just a little bit more than what you already know. 1 new vocabulary word in a sentence as opposed to 10 complete new words in a sentence.
That's a little too much information, I guess.
Syntorial takes a similar approach, building one idea on top of another. So when you first start using it, they actually wipe away all the knobs and sliders that you're not gonna need, so you only see what matters. And then piece by piece, they add these different modules in. It removes any of that sense of overwhelm that you might get looking at the whole thing, because you actually know what to focus on. Then, as the lessons go on, it gets more detailed and more refined. Number 2 is that it really emphasizes ear training, so that you're learning to use the synth not by the names of the buttons and the numbers, but by what it actually sounds like.
I can hear it.
So there will be quizzes like, what kind of waveform are you hearing right now? What style of detuning is being used? And you have to use your ear to actually get it right. The best part of the program is the challenges, where they play you a patch and then you have to use the parameters that you've learned up to that point to recreate it exactly. So if you follow my channel, you probably know I really like these practical approaches to things. How can I actually use this as opposed to just what's the abstract theory? And so that's the point here with the ear training. It's like, okay, how can I actually get what I want to hear? If I hear a cool patch in another score or in a song, how can I replicate it? And Syntorial is training you for that. And the third thing I like about it is that it feels like a video game. The lessons are short, the quizzes and challenges have sound effects if you win or lose. You really feel like you're leveling up and improving as you go along, and as each challenge gets harder and harder. The first time I went through it, it really felt like a game where I just sat there for hours, like, okay, just one more level. And then when you pass that one, you're like, well, maybe I could do one more, and you just keep on going and going. So the layout of Syntorial is pretty simple. It starts with the lessons, where there's a demonstration portion. They talk about the new thing that you're learning in this lesson. Then there's a challenge, which is that patch matching thing I talked about, and is really the best part of the app. There are also quizzes to quiz you on the concepts and a little bit of ear training in there. And the last thing is this on your own section where they say, okay, now that you know how to do X, Y, and Z, go create a cool bass patch or go create an ambient pad. Actually put the things to use and see what you can come up with. You can also download extra lesson packs if you want to learn how to use these concepts to a specific synthesizer. So if you're using Serum or Massive or any of these other ones and you want to apply what you've learned specific to that interface, they have videos showing you how to do it. So clearly you can see I highly recommend Syntorial. I think it's really awesome. You can try it out for free to see if you like it. You can actually do the first 22 lessons without having to pay anything. When I did the trial, I was pretty much hooked right away. I was like, okay, I'm getting this. I'll put an affiliate link in the description, which you can use if you want to support the channel. I think it's awesome. I think anybody could really benefit from using it. Even if you already know what the different knobs and buttons do, just the whole ear training aspect of it really makes the whole thing worth it. For more videos about music software, check out these 2 where I tried out Dorico before I really knew what I was doing. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.